Hello there, folks. It is I, Fraz, and once again you're tuned on 90 History. I honestly can't believe that we got this far. 7 episodes. Wow. This is the long-awaited video about K2, NBT, and Cat Island. I'm aware that it's long overdue. We've had technical difficulties in the beginning. I had enlisted called as a narrator, but he never delivered, and that made me lose quite a few months. Between school and sheer laziness, it took me this long to find the motivation to finish the video. So, as narrators, we have Fibular, who has already narrated episode 3 and is famous for being member of all the bases mentioned in this video. And the other narrator is Jod, who griefed NBT and even found Cat Island famous for pooping on streets. And with this, I'll leave you to them.
It all started with Legion finally dying by the beginning of September. As a direct consequence, several members of 30mm 30mm eventually /killed and went back to spawn, and /or started going back to activity nearby spawn on odds. In particular, Paradigm Plague went back on his main account and together with Syotos joined fellow Junefag Swagnus. On October 4th, 2016, K2 was founded. It didn't take long until the base started looking better than average, thanks to Swagnus's and Paradigm's building skills. The name for the base obviously came from the huge mountain that stood in the middle of it. Soon enough, they decided to start inviting other players famous for being great builders. The first pick was Atomic Squid 110. Then, he was working on his Bob Dylan map. Second one, though he was invited much later, almost at the base's final days, was Dr. 698. Very famous for being the person behind 9B9T's first solo build, Fortuna. Together, they made the base better and better. Around this time, the two leaders of Team Unity, alias myself and Voiceardian, were invited to the base. Eventually, we were reached by a few more former Legion members, though their contribution to the base was insignificant, if existent at all. K2 soon reached a decent amount of fame.
It must be noted, in this period, the feud between Minecart and Syotos, which was already covered, was in full swing. NVHQs 6 and 7, Oasis and Midgard were all blown up by K2 members in Flashback working together. Minecart obviously started desperately wanting to grief K2 to get back at them. As slightly mentioned in the third episode, Voiceardian grew to hate Syotos and started planning to inside the base. He tried to enlist Fibular's help, but instead he stayed loyal to the others and told them. JJ himself bed-trapped Voiceardian. If you want more details on exactly what happened, go watch the video Syotos made about K2. The link will be in the description. It includes the full Discord conversation between Voiceardian and Fibular. The K2 guys blew up their own base on December 4th of 2016 while a powerless and slightly desperate Voiceardian leaked the codes to Minecart 11.
After K2 got griefed, we started the base that we would later call NBT. It wasn't revealed until the very end, but it stood for the next big thing. Since K2 was already famous, it was expected that any base by the same people would be just as awesome. So, while the name wasn't revealed for a while, their new base was already famous from the very start. NBT was founded by the same people that were in K2, except for Voiceardian, who was obviously kicked due to his rather dangerous love for me, Fibular. Around this time, we had been befriending a relatively unknown player that went by Cult 5. He had been getting quite the reputation for finding bases, a concept still new to 9B90 and Anarchy at the time. We started giving him clues on where to find us, but he failed, but we ended up inviting him anyways. NBT grew and once again became famous. Notably, NBT was the first non-Legion base to have an end portal. In fact, we had illegals through former Legion base member Paradigm. Eventually growing bored of the base being already finished, some of the core group of NBT, those being Fibular, Syotos, Swagnus, Atomic, Doctor and Paradigm, we moved on and studied a new base that would become known as Cat Island. This was on June 6 of 2017.
NBT came to an end on the eve of 9B9T's 1-year anniversary. Former Legion member Remastered Khan was quitting and allegedly wanted to settle a couple of old matters with his former basemate, SyotosGreen. His version of the story holds that Syotos doxed their former teammate, LTNK, and that Khan was there for payback. Syoto's story, however, slightly differs, with LTNK challenging him to dox him in private. This sounds most likely since no dox of LTNK was ever released to the public. Regardless, COD assembled a small army of players including myself Jot, Conan MC, and Corrupted Greed to blow up the base. Link to the video of the raid is in the description below. It's in this occasion that I stole some end portal frames for myself. Nobody else in the raid knew that I had them. So I'm a bit of a Jew. The same raid was what caused its K2 player heads to be leaked, which were spawned in by JJ during the autumn of 2016. Those are still in circulation today. COD was even threatening to grief the anniversary base, but was talked out of it by Colt.
It must be said that we barely cared about the base being griefed, since we had already left for Cat Island. Cat Island, to this day, holds the title of longest standing active group base on the history of 9b19. The base was quite obviously named after ketamine, the drug. We worked hard on the base, turning it into what is likely the most beautiful base so far in the history of 9b19. In early 2018, we launched a contest where the winner would be allowed to join our base. We had them compete in memes, building and writing. It was quite a hard-fought battle, but in the end, WTD Puddles won and joined the base. However, he didn't even have a chance to get fully settled in before shit started hitting the fan. To piss JJ off during the 2-year anniversary event, we live streamed a tour of the base at the same time as JJ's anniversary stream, diverting attention from it on an already very small community. The show abruptly ended when Syotos accidentally showed Bedrock for a few seconds. The only player known to have captured it on a screenshot is Icelime. Who? Though he never actually acted on it. We laughed it off to save appearances, but low-key decided to fix it 9B style by engaging in massive amounts of roleplay. A couple days later, we created a Reddit account named WinnieThePooh_2004 and posted a screenshot of a part of Cat Island getting griefed. Almost everybody believed it, and those who saw through it were either helping us cover it up or were quickly silenced by the majority. Now, here's where the roleplay really starts. Player Shredder5 tried to take credit for the grief, claiming he actually was Winnie. So we created a new Discord account and PM'd Shredder credentials to the Reddit account on it. He took the bait and started posting, acting as the real griefer. Now we had a scapegoat, and we bullied him pretty hard about it. Cat Island thus saved. Officially, it was griefed, and it stayed griefed in everybody's minds for almost a year until Fibular posted an update video. Another player to join the base was Yopanatori in late 2018, and early 2019,
The base resurfaced again in 2019 when Fibular released a new and improved tour of the base in May. With the base's second anniversary getting close, link in description, obviously, new fags stood in shock and awe. Countless began searching for it, trying to exploit the terrain shown in the video. However, the base was actually far closer to spawn than anyone thought, and many simply didn't include it in the range when looking for it. 2 more players reached Cat Island before its untimely end. The first player was Bunny666, invited by Fibular for no particular reason other than being thirsty. They didn't mind though, as most of them weren't even playing anymore. And second was me, the first one to actually find the base. I know, I'm something of a hacker myself. The base met its end in December. An unknown player leaked a screenshot of it in the subreddit, and other unknown players griefed the base. Some claim to have blown it up personally, but there really isn't any proof pointing at that anymore. The group still hasn't made a new base, but Syotos stated that they might start a new one once 9b9t updates to 1.13.
And that concludes this episode of 9b90 History. I want to thank Jod and Fibular for narrating it, SyotosGreen and SyotosGreen 110 for providing me with screenshots, and for filling me in on parts I didn't know much about. Also, thanks to Valentina666 as usual for making the thumbnails, even though I think that's the first time I actually remember to say that. And finally, thank you, the audience, for waiting this long for this shitty video. And I'll see you next time.
Fraz, I'm fucking freezing, man. I don't know why, but I'm so cold. Okay, part 3, NBT. Fibular TP'd Bunny to Cat Island.